Maybe you guys had some different ideas, but you thought about the pressures that boys have on them. I think about as boys growing up, boys always have the pressure to be kind of the responsible one and take care of the family if we start to think about even men as they grow up. Maybe we think that boys have the pressure to be good at sports. Boys maybe have the pressure that we assume to be better at math. So there's a lot of pressures that different genders can put on people, and we want to be aware of these things. Now remember, again, are these things true? Definitely not. They're just assumptions, and they're things that our culture and our society kind of puts upon people and expects of people. And we know that we don't have to follow those molds. There's one final question I want us to consider today. How are boys perceived? How do we think about boys? I want you to reflect on this one. This one's kind of tough. I know that when we perceive and we kind of think about boys, we think about maybe the toughness, and we perceive boys to maybe not be as emotional as other people in kind of the different ways that they act. Readers, today we had to think about how different genders can be perceived, and we specifically talked about boys. Now that we've thought about how boys are perceived and thought about in our society, let's see if any of our characters in our books are starting to connect to those different perceptions, or if they're kind of out of the box like we talked about. Let's think specifically about Jerome in our book, Ghost Boys. Well, the way that Jerome is acting, is he fitting the mold about how boys are perceived, the pressures that they have, how they think boys should act or behave? I want you to reflect on that, and I want you to spend some time thinking about that as you go off to read your book club books today. Your job now is to grab your book club book and start reading your next assignment. As you read, think about if your character is fitting the different gender stereotypes, we can call them, and thinking about that as you reflect. These are great book club conversations. All right, readers, grab your book club books, think about gender, and happy reading.